Welcome to 444 Empath Tarot. Take a deep breath and relax.
Hi guys, Jen here. I'm going to do a collective energy reading update. Where are we? We are approaching May. Oh God. We are approaching May, Taurus season. And I just felt the need to do a reading. You guys know I do these energy updates on the collective. If you guys are on the same frequency, no specific rhyme or reason, just if it resonates, it resonates. You guys know how I roll. If it's not in your radar, please don't take it. I don't like to plant seeds of doubt. So if anything comes up and it wasn't already, you know, something that you were inquiring about, or it doesn't align with anything that you're going through, don't take it, okay? It's not for you. But if it's resonating right from the beginning, or even towards the middle, or even a little bit towards the end, yeah, take the parts that mean something to you. Take the parts that align with you. Anything that doesn't align, it wasn't on your radar. Let's say you have a situation, a person, and everything's fine, and something comes up that makes you be like, no sort of, I mean, not saying that you can't look at a different perspective, but you know, if it wasn't something that you were already thinking about, or maybe even, let's say you did think about it, you know, like it came across your mind and you kind of brushed it off, and you hear it in this reading, maybe, you know, it could be something that you should either, you know, pay attention to or look into, something like that. But if it's nothing, like nothing at all, like let's say you live in a house and you're comfortable there and nothing's going on, and you know, maybe the reading speaks about moving and you're like, I ain't moving no time soon, it's not for you, right? So I don't like to fear monger, so I just wanted to put that disclaimer, because there's you know, I listen to tarot myself and I'll listen, but if it doesn't resonate, I don't take it. I don't get affected by it or anything like that. I don't bring that energy towards me, so to speak. That's what I want to say. If it's not in your energy, don't bring it towards you. So let's go ahead and dive in, and let's go ahead and do a past, current, and what's coming towards you. And let's go ahead and pull the first card, guides, spirit guides, angels. Let's see what we have for the collective. Coming out, King of Swords in reverse. And this is the past energy. Now, I'm trying to feel the energy on, because I'm trying to see if it's you or if it now. Okay, so it could be your energy where you were in a King of Swords energy. Swords energy, thoughts, communication, think, teacher, lawyer, someone who just likes to talk. That's like their determining factor. Someone who's very good with words. Now, think of someone in reverse who is cold, bitter, maybe even lacks discernment, okay? It can be one, it can be all. This could have been someone in your energy. It could even be you. Let's be real. Sometimes we are in reverse ourselves, where we could lack discernment. And that's funny, because my disclaimer was about being discerning about the information that you're receiving, right? So this is air energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy in the past, which is the catalyst for what's coming. And we'll speak about the current energy. Was, again, this is a court card, so it can be a person or it can be you if you're an air sign. You know, someone who comes off as very closed off. I see that he's using that sword, but in reverse, it's almost like, don't come near me or I will cut you like a knife. Like very just distant, you know, and just, I'm almost getting even the feeling of, this just popped in, because whenever I get messages, like words and visions come across like a movie screen or like a picture, I got like sometimes being with a lacking discernment part, like being gosh, it just literally flashed across my third eye. Oh my goodness, what is it? Spirit, please help me with my words. Paranoid, like paranoia. Now again, you or someone in your energy, air sign, it doesn't have to be, but that archetype of someone being very paranoid, very, you know, their discernment is off. And speaking of discernment, you know, it has to do with not more so, not projection, almost like, okay, I peep it, I see it, like observation. Discernment is not being judgmental. Discernment is understanding, okay, I see it, but it doesn't really involve a reaction. That's how you know it's discernment. And I'm actually diving deep on discernment. If any of you have heard of Carl Jung, I'm really diving deep into his work. So wanted to throw that out there. Maybe that resonates. So let's see what's in your current energy. The Lovers. Okay. This can have to do with some sort of connection. Again, it can also have to do with choices too. That is the traditional right away. But when I read, I use my intuition, and I kind of have my own what do you call that? Like dictionary of how I interpret things. Everyone is different. I have my own signs and symbols, just like, let's say for instance, a dream. Someone may dream of a snake and think of it as renewal, shedding the skin, but someone else who identifies with the snake as danger might identify with that way. The way I identify with the Lovers is, it's almost like a fated relationship, a connection, cosmic. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic. It can even be your parent, because that is a fated relationship. You were brought down here and it was fated for that person to be your mom or your dad. So it could be some bitterness or some coldness, some sort of like lack of discernment. They can't really, I'm getting paranoia even. It's almost like they can't really articulate themselves straight, or almost like they're not seeing things clearly. Their perception is wrong, but they're voicing this. And this could have to do with some sort of connection here, some sort of fated relationship. Again, it can be a friend, family member. It can even be your boss. Take it as it resonates. It can even be a situation. And right now there is a choice regarding that. And it's stemming from this energy here with this King of Swords. It could have to do with, again, an air sign or that archetype too, the energy of the card. But let me see if I can get some more details from here. Give me 1 second. I get like someone it's almost like someone, I don't know if it's you or the other person in the situation, they're almost looking up to the divine, like what is going on. And the other person here, the male figure, is almost looking like they don't know neither. A lot of the times this can come across as someone acting a certain way and they don't even realize it, right? That's the energy that I'm getting. And to piggyback off this King of Swords, if this is a person and they're acting a certain way, they're acting cold a bit, they don't realize it. And one of you, if it's not you or the other person, one of you is like, they're not aware, and the other person's like, what the hell is going on? So let's go ahead and see what's coming towards you. 3 of Swords, that could make sense. Okay. I'm picking up on 2 energies here. One is a relationship where there is some sort of, the communication is off. I'm just going to be very blunt. The communication is very off, but, and I'm not, if you're, well, you can't be a cross watcher because this isn't a sign specific reading, but I'll try to figure out who this is. One of you or somebody in this energy doesn't know it's almost like they're oblivious. And it's almost giving off as self-sabotage too, but the other person might get hurt, or either both of you, one of you. I have to get a clarifier with this, but yeah, there's some coldness here, like someone is acting very off. There's some paranoia here regarding some connection here, and it looks like it's leading to some disappointment, some heartache. So let's go ahead and get some clarifiers here. Spirit, can you clarify that King of Swords? What is this? Who is this? What is this situation about? Because there's clearly some miscommunication here, and it's coming off, okay, the sun. I mean, the star. This person is healing from something. This person has some sort of trauma. It's almost like projection. There's some trauma here. They're trying to heal from something, but the way that they are coming across, it's not in a healthy way. And if this doesn't have to do, if it does have to do with the other person perceiving you as cold and bitter, I think you are trying to heal whatever this is. It could be a trauma wound. In a literal sense, it could just be that you're in pain, or you're trying to heal from something and you're just cranky here. No, this is big, because this is a major. Whatever this is, it could have to, it could even have to do with an addiction, because this is major. This is major healing here. But this coldness, this detachment, the way the words are coming out, it's coming off very, very, I'm hearing static. And it's due to some sort of healing here. That's why it came off here that they're oblivious. They're not really aware of how they're coming off, but it's causing some disappointment. It's almost as if you're dealing with someone who is going through things, but it doesn't give them a right to treat you a certain way, and vice versa. You could be going through things, you know, healing, whatever, but it doesn't give permission to hurt someone purposely, and it's not even coming off like it's on purpose. It really isn't, but the lack of awareness here. So let's see. Clarifying the Lovers, Justice. Now these majors are coming out. This could have to, I mean, in a literal sense, it could have to do with law, the judicial system. It could have to do with, if this is like a divorce or something, maybe one or both of you really don't want to get a divorce. It could even, and if you guys aren't married, it could just be a split. Because some people don't get married, they get like domestic partnership and things like that. But something here is trying to balance the scales. And I noticed that the number 2 is very significant, because there's 2 people here and she's balanced, and it's like 1 and 2. Someone here is coming off very, very swift with the mouth. And the other party involved is trying to almost have patience and balance these scales here. This is also Libra energy here. And I almost feel like this air sign is coming up. It's a lot of air here too, because we have the swords, and then I'm looking at this sword here, and it's almost as if someone's coming off very like blunt and brute, and the other one's trying to have patience and trying to balance everything. One thing I will say, if you ever feel like you're self-sacrificing yourself, that's a red flag. You should never feel like you are going against yourself. Even if you understand, because I'm an empath and I can see when someone is hurting. I have seen when people are hurting me and still see that they are hurting, but it doesn't make it okay. But yeah, that's the situation that I'm picking on. There's almost as if, and if it's not a person, it can just be an environment, and there's just lack of awareness, and somebody here is trying to keep the balance, trying to keep the peace here. Definitely trying to keep the peace, because Libra energy, that is very kind of people-pleasing energy. Not calling Libras people, but I'm just saying the energy of the card comes off as trying to pacify the situation, trying to make it better. But I think the overall energy here, and it's so weird, is that you cannot compromise your own self, right? Let's get a clarifier for the Three of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, yeah. Anytime I see the Queen of Pentacles, this is earth energy. She's giving too much of herself. And it's not coming out in reverse, but I'm seeing it in reverse because it's clarified by the Three of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles, sometimes there is an unbalance where there's too much work and not enough like personal life. Like this is the person that because it can be any oh my goodness, I lost the words. It can be any earth sign. It can be Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. But I'm picking up more so Capricorn for some reason, where there's too much involvement in one area and another area gets neglected. And that may be where the disappointment and the heartache comes from. Now, as far as the area that's being neglected, it can simply be you. It can be maybe because you're dealing with this person's situation that you neglect work, you neglect finances, you forget to pay a bill, something of that nature, right? Take it as it resonates again. Or it can simply mean that in a literal sense, an earth sign is going to be the reason for some sort of disappointment here. Let's get some, let's dive a little bit deeper. I want to dive a little bit deeper here. You have to, the way I work is I probe. My guides are like ChatGPT. I can't just spit out a card. I have to ask it. You got to be very specific. And that's in anything in life. You have to be very with a lot of intent. So King of Swords and healing. Okay. Who's healing here? Spirit, who is the one healing? What's going on with the situation? Why is there bitterness and coldness here? Why is there discernment? Why is there a lack of... Okay. 10 of Swords in reverse. There's double healing here. Whatever this is, whoever this is, if it's you or the other person, you're really trying. You're kind of breaking out of it too. 10 of Swords in reverse speaks about almost like bouncing back better, right? Resilience, rising stronger. Whoever this is, whatever situation this is, if it's you or the other person, again, this is picking up on like air here. We only have air and earth. We have no fire and we have no water. So this is like mental games here. Whatever situation, you're really trying, you're trying to bounce back. But the recovery part is almost like you're in that in-between. If it's not you, the other person. I'm not trying to say allow this person to treat you anyway. I'm just giving you an insight on their point of view. Giving you perspective. That's what this is, okay? So, whatever situation this is, it's coming out of anxiety. It's coming out of a painful ending. It's almost like the in-between. Yeah, healing. You know, it's not the actual wound. The wound is healing, but you know, when you have a wound, it still goes through scab. You still have to tend to it. Either give yourself grace or the other person. The Lovers and Justice. Something here is trying to be balanced. There is a lot of, with that Swords energy, the communication is, again, staticky. It's off. And there's a balance that's trying to happen here. Give me an overall energy on this, Spirit. The High Priestess. There might be something unknown here, or it could be a situation where what was unknown is now being communicated. It's almost as if you held your tongue for so long, whoever this is, whatever situation this is, it's been almost watched and observed for such a long time. And in the current energy, what needs to be said is being said. And that can trigger people. Absolutely. That can trigger people. I think what I'm getting here as an advice is to be very strategic with how it's being communicated. I think that's key, because I see here almost like a person, if I'm speaking to you, you want to convey a message, maybe even intervention. You want to speak up, but you want to do it in a way that doesn't disrupt the foundation. You know something, you've known something for a long time, and it's coming out now. Now, either you are saying something or a secret is coming out, but what was held in is being exposed, so to speak. And that can be why the balance is showing up here. It's almost like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to say it. Being strategic with your words and how you say it is key. Sometimes that can kind of make a difference there. Let's see here. Clarify the Three of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles here. Judgment in reverse. Okay. This is like no more second chances. If this is a situation that you're dealing with a person or an environment, it's almost like if it's you're not giving the situation a second chance. I think it took too much out of you, too much resources, pentacles, too much energy out of you, because it's pentacle. It can be anything on this 3D realm. It can literally be, it costs you too much, your mental health, finances, things of that nature. But whatever situation this is, it's not getting a second chance. For some of you, this is a person that you're like, I understand you're going through something, you're healing, you're getting out of it. That's great. You're trying to move past it, but I'm trying really hard to balance things out and it's not working, and this is the last straw. You're not getting a second chance here. So let's get the advice card here. Let's get the advice. The Devil, the Page of Cups. This person might try to bring you back in. This person may try to be very tempting, may try to offer you something. Like the Capricorn energy. You see the Page of Cups offering the Devil. It's almost like, or it can literally be you maybe feeling like you can make a deal, but it's almost like making a deal with the devil. I don't want to say that. And you're very intuitive. The Page of Cups is my empath card here. Again, you can understand what someone is going through. It does not mean that you have to allow the treatment, though. Again, I am an empath. I can see when people are hurting, but it never gives them a reason to hurt me. I still have to protect myself here. So be very careful with that, because I do see here that's almost like a bind. And because it feels faded here with the Lovers, it's sometimes those are really hard to shake off and break off. But it's all an illusion, to be honest. It's real, that feeling of maybe you can't live without someone or something. It's really an illusion. And if it's something that compromises your morals or your well-being, or even having to betray yourself, it's always a red flag here. So there goes what's getting illuminated. Yeah, the Sun. You have to go within. Hermit card, Virgo. Sun card, Leo. Something is going to get really illuminated, and things are going to really start looking up once you go in. I think for some of you, if it's not you coming out of a toxic relationship with someone who may have had some addictions or healing from something, or whatever the case may be, whether it's trauma, you're going to realize that going within with the Hermit is what's going to bring you clarity. It's what's going to bring you your happiness here. You see how the Hermit is literally towards the Sun? he starts off with a small lantern. And as he's moving towards the sun, it's almost like that light gets so much bigger. So it's almost as if, don't dim your light. Follow it. Don't dim it. Follow it. I think for some of you, you're very empathic. You're very intuitive too. And you see things that probably you feel like you shouldn't say, because if you say it, people call you crazy, or, you know, but I think for some of you, the key here is to kind of go within, not trying to save everyone. You can give people grace, but not trying to save everyone. Because honestly, what you do is when you try to fix a situation that is not yours to fix, you actually do the other person an injustice. It's almost like you're telling them, you are incapable of fixing this on your own. And if this is someone who is dealing with their own traumas and triggers and they're working through it, you don't have to help them with that. You know, don't solicit your empathy or your gift and feel like you have to fix it or heal it. I think for some of you, there is some healing that you need to do on your own that you should be working on, right? You don't want to, and it's not to say that you don't want to help, but I think for some of you, you kind of already made your mind up. And if it's not you, I will say this, that God, the universe, whoever you believe in, is going to make it so that you are almost literally forced to walk away from this situation. It's almost as if the universe is not gonna give you a second chance to hurt yourself neither, with the Judgment card in reverse. I don't know who this is for, but I almost see like some of you really like praying or really wanting this situation to work, and the universe is literally like, no, you're only hurting yourself. And it's gonna feel very detrimental at the moment, almost as if, oh my God, why? But I think there's a bigger plan, because whatever this is, it's very toxic, and it's feeding on you. It's almost energy vampire, and you're probably not even aware of it neither. But it comes off very toxic, and you know it too. You know it's toxic, and it's almost like, but I don't want to give it up. But the key is, you know, again, with the advice is to go inside. There is work that still needs to be done with you. And honestly, it's one of those situations where, you know how when you want something really bad and you don't get it, and then you finally just are like okay with it, like okay, and then you realize, you go back and you're like, why the hell did I want that? Oh my goodness. That usually comes after the work, because you get clarity. That sharp vision is much clearer once you start doing that work and integrating and going within. You can't really see it when you're here. See the difference? How it's almost as if the Page of Cups is like, here, devil, take my cup. And then here, the Hermit is like, screw that, I'm going within. And it literally leads to the sun. It's almost like night and day. It's literally like, it's the devil and the sun. And then you have the Page of Cups, who is in their infancy. It lacks experience, it lacks maturity. And then you jump, it almost feels like someone literally transforms from a Page of Cups to the Hermit. You know how profound that is? That is literally someone who has been taken advantage of for so long, and they don't even realize it, and then they go within. It's almost like an awakening even, and they see the light for the first time, and they're like, what the hell have I been doing all this time? I haven't had any boundaries. I've been letting people walk all over me. You really come out of this very strongly, but you have to do the work. There is some temptation here. But I think for some of you, if you're here looking for a sign, the sign is to really kind of X this out, whether you want to or not. It's not, you know, the universe has your back. It's not going to allow it to hurt you anymore, and really go within. So let me pull one of these. I'm going to pull one of these angel oracles here to close this out. Let's see what we have here. Okay. want it to come out. Okay, that's fine. That's so funny. I love when I pull these cards. Collective, you got break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. How appropriate. Break the chain. Break it. Break this chain. And then you have get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. That is so, oh my goodness. My spirit guides are so funny when they tie it all. And I was actually looking at an Akashic Records, and they literally was like, no, pull one of these. And it's so appropriate. Break the chain and get grounded. That is my final message for you. If any of these messages made sense, they resonated, you guys know what to do. You've been on YouTube for quite a while. Hit the thumbs up, like, hype it out, whatever you guys do. And until next time, take care.